Here we are, another Greg Talks video. Before I start, let me just say that my rooster, I'm in my backyard, he's going to be crowing a lot. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know how he is. You're going to hear some rooster. There you go. So now that we got that out of the way, this is going to be my actual first episode, I guess. That was the pilot episode, and the response from it was amazing. Everybody on this channel is just so positive, and it's so refreshing. People talk about YouTube trolls and stuff like that, but I don't really have that on this channel. I kind of feel like people subscribe to people like them. So if you subscribe to a decent person that's not a jerk, you're probably not going to have jerk subscribers, and I feel like that's how it is on here. So there's 2 rooster crows if you're keeping count. That'd be cool if someone did keep count. But like I said, the response is really good, and I got a question in that video. I wasn't expecting questions right away, but I got one, and it was, what do you do for a living besides YouTube? And that's actually a funny question because I don't really do YouTube for a living. I mean, I do monetize the videos, but I've explained in the past, I just use that money to buy equipment, like I buy cameras, tripods, and stuff to make videos like this. And the GoPro, that was something that I bought with YouTube revenue. It's not a lot of money, but it helps out. So, what do you do for a living? In normal life, that question really bugs me because I kind of think people just use that as a way to judge you. Like, you meet someone, you're like, "Hi, I'm Greg," and they're like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And then your response, I feel, is how they view you. So if you're like, "Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer," and they're like, "Oh, okay, I have a lot of respect for you." Whereas if you're like, "Oh, I pick up trash for a living," they're like, Oh, you do? Interesting. So I feel like on first impressions, that is a terrible question to ask someone, but I feel like it's something that I can answer on here. I've answered it in comments before, but I feel like there should be an actual video where I do address that. And I feel like you already have an impression of me and you know me well, so I can answer that on here. And, of course, as I said, this is going to be unedited. Mellow Man, she's out here bothering me. And if you're wondering why I'm sitting in the backyard, I just got done pulling half the weeds in my yard, or in my garden, and it is like 80 degrees out here. So I am sweaty. Be fortunate that you can't smell me. And I think this video is going to run a little long if you haven't noticed already, and you probably see the timer at the bottom, so you already know how long this is going to be. So grab a snack and count the rooster crows, and let's get this started. So what I do for a living, let's start, I guess, with college. I've been doing the same thing since I got out of college. I'm 29 years old right now. I went into college not really knowing what to do. I dabbled in a few things. Like most 18, 19-year-olds have no idea what they want to do with their life. The whole world, opportunities, and they make you choose one thing. So I tried a few things, and then I decided that I was going to go into business administration, and I did a concentration in finance and economics at Lock Haven University, which is in central Pennsylvania. And I went into that major because I felt like I was really good at math, excellent at math, and I love personal finance, which you probably already know based on my other videos that I've made on here. So I thought that'd be perfect to go into that, and I did. And I graduated at the top of my class. I think I ended with a 3.87 GPA, which is, was it summa cum laude or magna cum laude? I don't know. It's on my resume, but I've only used it for the job that I have. So for a living, I do finance. I got a job right out of school. I graduated in May. I looked around for a job, and I got a job in the middle of July of 2008. That's when I got out of school, and I got a job in the field that I went to school for, which is really awesome. And this was all right at the crash of 2008. So to get into finance in 2008 during the worst time was quite an accomplishment in my eyes. So I won't tell you the company that I work for, but I'll tell you what I do for a living. I do personal loans for people that have troubled credit. So it's like consumer finance, and that's sort of where my ideas of debt being a bad thing come from. I do a lot to help people. I do loans for people that have had issues in the past. Melo's attacking me. And they've had issues with their credit. I look at their credit and I make a decision whether I can do something for them or not. Now, if you have problems with your credit that can be identified, like I was divorced, I had to file bankruptcy, I had medical issues, things like that, I can help you out and I can give you a loan to maybe, whatever you're trying to do. You don't have to use it for anything. You can use it for a vacation, you can use it for home improvements, whatever. Sometimes to consolidate debt. But I feel like I'm helping people, but there's often times where I feel like that I'm doing nothing but harming people. And I'll give you an example of that. Say you come into me and you would like a loan for consolidation, and I say, great, I'd love to help you out. And I do that. I pay off all of your credit cards. You're completely debt-free with the exception of the one loan payment you have with me, which is going to be at a lower interest rate than what your credit cards are. Well, that's great. Until you come back 6 months from now and you reopened all of those credit cards, and they're actually worse off now than what they were before. And now you need not only the payment that I have for you, but you have all these other payments that you've reopened, and now you're in a worse spot than you've ever been. And that is why I personally hate debt. Now, I'm sure most adults that are watching this video, you all have debt. I'm sure you do. I have debt. I have a mortgage. Cody and I both have student loans, which have financed the jobs that we have now. We have our vehicle finance, which I'm working hard to get all these things paid down. We save a good portion of our money each month, and we're paying that stuff off. And I don't intend to ever borrow again. The house was the thing that I was willing to borrow for, and I think it was worth it because it's an asset and it's done nothing but appreciate in value. There's going to be a car that goes by. There's a road right over here, so you may hear some vehicles too. So sorry about the audio situation. But so that's what I do. I've been doing that for the last 6 years. I'm going on my 6-year anniversary, and I'm excellent at what I do. I don't really consider it my passion, but it's what I went to school for, and I'm great at it. I make a good living. We're not rich by any means, but we have enough money to enjoy life. So that is what I do for a living. Now, the question is, how has your view of me changed? I don't know. I guess my passion isn't in finance. It isn't in being in business. But my real passion is to have like a homestead and raise my own food, or grow my own food, raise animals. Pretty much what I do on this channel. That's my passion, and that's why I do this channel. And you can see that. But I sort of have like this split life. I'm businessman by day, then I come home and put my rubber boots on, and I go out and pull weeds in the garden, and I have chickens and all this stuff. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with my ultimate goal, which is to get dairy goats and have the milk, cheese, and make butter and sell all that stuff. And I think that would just be an awesome life, and it'd be a great life for our future child that we're going to be raising. So that is my future goal, and that kind of gives you an idea of some background on me and where I'm coming from. This is a question that a lot of people ask and definitely needs addressed. That's my neighbor up there. He's probably like, what is that guy doing with the camera? But speaking of that, no one at my job knows that I do the YouTube thing. So I kind of keep the lives separated, and I think that works out really well. I really wouldn't want them delving into my personal life here. So that's the answer to the question. And if you're wondering what Cody does, she's a teacher. She teaches high school English, and that's something that she really loves to do. And I'm really happy for her. She plans to do that for a long time, and I think that's great. So that's it. I don't know if there's anything else that I really want to say. I don't want to end the video and if I have something else to say. And we're not doing any kind of edits or anything. So what do you think, Mello? Look at this little monster. Look how dirty my arms are. This is unrelated, but yeah, I just got out of the garden. So that's what I do for a living. I'm in finance, but my real dream is to pretty much do what I'm doing right now. I don't know if, I could ever make a living out of raising goats and stuff, but maybe through a combination of doing that and having livestock and growing my own food, that's where the self-sufficiency thing comes in, because I feel like if we can get completely out of debt, like we get our house paid off, and I start really having an awesome garden, and we start having our own dairy stuff with the goats, and I can maybe breed them and have like a home business basically with that stuff, and maybe that would earn enough money that we could get by along with Cody's job. Of course, that would do well enough, but it's just kind of weird to give up a stable job for something like that, where you're just kind of working from a homestead. But that's my dream. I think there's other people out there that are like that too, and it's just about becoming as free as possible, and I think the way to do that is to get out of debt. So I'm sort of a hypocrite. My business that I do is to get people into debt, sort of. I mean, yeah, I guess that's what it is. I give people loans so they're in debt, but my number one goal in life is to get out of debt so I don't have to be a part of the system anymore. So it's a really weird thing, and it's something I think about sometimes. It's like, I don't really believe in what I do. Like some of these people that I talk to, I just want to be like, don't do this. I could see borrowing money for something that's important, like, oh, my daughter needs braces. I'm doing this. I need money for funeral costs. I need a trip for this. But money for like a vacation. I did a loan the other day, $6,000 ATV. Why do you want to borrow money for a luxury purchase like that that's not essential? I just can't figure it out. So that's my viewpoint. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about and a lot of my mind state is on being debt free and being self-sufficient. So that's gonna be a good part of the Greg Talks series of videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go in and get a shower now. So thanks for watching, and I'm sure we'll have more videos up here soon.